laughing loud, echoes in a sleepy crowd. Pizza boxes, drinks in hand, telling tales, oh isn't it grand? Every moment a snapshot frame, wild adventures, we're all the same. From school halls to midnight drives, these are the moments that keep us alive. Afterthoughts, let's rewind, stories shared.
All right, Afterthoughts. You guys heard Dillon on St. Patrick's Day for what, an hour and a half, I think he talked, and it was very informative.
This is Easter.
This is Easter, that's right. So this is the Afterthought segment where Dillon tells his best story, and it better be good. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, they just cut like 27 minutes out. So.
Yeah.
So anyways, once upon a time, my buddy and I, my buddy Joe Gallego, is probably listening to this. He actually listens to you guys.
Good.
You know,
Does he really?
Yeah, he's
On
good
purpose?
taste. That guy has really good
He
taste.
does. He's a good guy. Joe and I, he lives up in kind of northwest Peoria, so he doesn't get down here to the real area very
2-hour
often.
drive.
Yeah.
Right.
He's got 4 kids, a stable family life,
That sounds terrible.
strong career, and that doesn't really
Got shit
mesh
together.
with
It's super
a
annoying.
whole lot of hanging out with Dillon, doing chaos. So one night comes over, we grill some ribeyes in the backyard, come up here, have some drinks, go back to my place, have some more drinks.
Oh, boy.
And it's about
All right.
it's roughly midnight, and I was at the time I was very CrossFitting, and it was pre-Colts. It was pre-Colts.
I'm glad you went crossfitting.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
CrossFitter makes you-
Okay.
I was very into CrossFit at the time, and again it was pre-Colt. So we're hanging out on my back patio, and I had Olympic rings, the wooden
No.
rings on straps.
No, I
Have you
don't
ever seen the
exercise.
Olympics?
No.
So there's this thing. So I had what's best known as Olympic rings on my back patio, and these posts on my back patio are what, 15 feet off the ground?
Yeah, they were monster. Like
Yeah, they were
8
like-
by 12.
Yeah, they were
beast, dude.
Don't be banging
They were huge.
your posts.
So big, dude.
Yeah,
They're his
and
posts.
I had them
looked at
drilled
them.
in. We'd had a great night, and we're kind of wrapping things up. And I had seen this new move where you pull yourself off, and anyone who knows those rings knows skinning the cat, where you pull yourself up, flip off. If you don't know it,
Of course.
YouTube that after this.
I'm a curler guy, you know?
Just don't put in Dillon Cain skinning the cat, because that's a totally different
At least
genre.
not incognito. No.
So anyways,
Yeah.
I pull myself up. I'm on these rings. I'm inverted, and I don't know what went wrong, but suddenly I'm on the ground.
Gravity.
It was probably the 5 or 6 martinis. It was
Martinis?
left hand
Boys'
milk
night out.
stouts. It was the ribeyes. I lost my grip. I fell, hit my head, and I find myself laying on the ground. Turns out I had plummeted a good 5 to 7 feet because I was inverted.
Yeah.
So I think it was like about 6.5. We'll just take that.
Yeah. I mean, it's Olympic height, obviously.
Like a good 6.5 feet straight to the ground, struck the top of my skull on sandstone, which was
bad.
where my patio was.
Yeah, went straight into full headstand, though.
Yeah, did a backflip.
Yeah.
That's a 10 from the German judge.
Ta-da!
Yeah. And Joe rushes over and he's like, holy shit. He's like, I'm fine. And I've got blood raining down my face, and I don't want to put an end to the night. He's like, dude, we need to go to the emergency room. And I'm like, nah.
Nah.
I'm like, can we just like super glue this or something? Because I mean, that's super glue is like my favorite Band-Aid.
Yeah, it works
I'm a
great.
huge fan of super glue. So he's like, no, man, you need to go to the emergency room. I was like, okay, well, hey, my friend Heather is working at the Main Ingredient, and she's in nursing school. Let me call her real quick.
Duh.
So I call her, and she's up here with Mary Lynn. I think it was Mary Lynn and Heather. And I'm like, hey, I think I may have just split my scalp. Can you take a look at it real quick and decide if I have to
B and
go
C
to-
too to go.
What's your first clue? I may have spent my skull.
I'm lightheaded because there's blood everywhere.
Yeah. So Joe drives me up here, and I hop out of the car, and I sit right where the bike rack is right now. I sit down on there, and Heather comes running out with a flashlight, and she goes, click, click, go to the hospital.
Nice skull. Go to the hospital.
And so
That medical school's really paying off.
Yeah, she's like, I only went to one class, but you need to get the fuck
shit.
I can see your brain. You should probably go.
Like back of your neck looks like a frog's belly.
Yeah, it's He's still splitting as I'm talking.
I'm going to throw up. You should go.
Yeah,
So,
she
yeah.
just passes
Yeah.
out. So what is it?
So we go to St. Joe's, which has a great emergency room. If anyone's ever been to an emergency room,
if TMI
St.
can't help
Joe's,
you.
Yeah,
5 stars
it's 5 stars.
on Yelp. Right.
Yeah. Anyways, so we get into a spot, and the boring part is they gotta.
You got medical attention.
No, like there was like nobody in the emergency room. They let us in, and of course, I know I said pre-cult, but I'm wearing a CrossFit T-shirt. You know,
It's
and,
not a Colt on the back and shit.
And the nurse is like, "Oh, CrossFit, huh?" You know?
And
like,
martinis.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. So they put us in a room, and we're in this room for like an hour and a half, and no one comes in. So finally, I wander down to a nurse's station, and there's this doctor who's like elbow on like some, you know, beep, boop, boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, boop kind of machine.
You're just waiting.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
And there's like 3 nurses who are like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, can
nice
I?"
blood.
Yeah. So he's like, "Okay." So he comes in, and you know, they wash it out, whatever. And he's all, "Well, hey, does this hurt?" And he's like, "Ka-chunk," and he staples my scalp, and I'm like, "Nope," because I just want to go home and play World of Warcraft
Yeah.
at this point. So he's like, "Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk."
Right.
So
Right.
I finally got out of that place.
He's like, you're gonna want to wash that up.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, they didn't even ask for a credit card. I'm out of here.
Wow. Bye.
Thanks.
This guy does CrossFit. Don't ask him for money. He'll fuck you up.
So we fast forward like 2 or 3 weeks later, and the scalp's healed up. I have pictures if anyone wants. I'll send you some
Nope.
pictures.
Nope.
So
Go to your podcast for that one, buddy.
yeah. So my friend Heather, I'm not calling Heather out because she's not going to listen to this. Who knows where Heather is?
She might now.
Well,
Yeah.
She's like, well, I can take those out for you. And
Oh,
I'm
this
like,
is not
okay.
going to end well for
So she
you.
comes over and nursing student. I'm like, sure. So I sit down in my living room.
Keyword student.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's got this like machine, and she's like grabbing them. And she's like, let me know if it hurts. And I'm like,
Here, have a martini.
right. And she's like, and she goes, does that not hurt? And I go, well, it depends on
Yeah.
what you consider hurt.
Yeah.
And she's all, okay, it seems kind of weird. And I'm like, yeah, it
Just
feels like
flipping
you're
through a book and shit.
it feels like
Hold
you're
on.
just pulling them out with your teeth.
Yeah.
So she's like, I think I'm doing this wrong. And I'm like, okay. So she leaves.
She's got one of those tiny staple removers that you see in the office.
Yes.
Let me turn this upside down.
Like,
Hold
you know,
on.
like the jaws of yeah. And so she comes back a week later. She's like, okay, I rewatched the video. I know how to do it
boy.
now. And she's like, boink, 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 boink. Pulled it because she was just literally pulling
Yanking.
them out of my skull.
That's not how that works.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways,
Explains a lot, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
it does.
Yeah.
I have a scar.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's all you have.
It's the
Yeah.
only one that's
Yeah.
on the outside.
And
So
tetanus.
it's
And he hit his head so hard he doesn't remember telling the story 10 minutes ago. It's great. Oh, really? That happened? Nice. Well, thanks for telling
Anyways,
us
yeah,
where to
thanks
get the
for
best
having me.
medical
Thanks.
So
attention.
what's the moral of the story, Dylan?
Go to the hospital and then post care TMI.
No, if you get hammered before you work out,
Right.
nothing hurts.
Oh, that's great
Doing it
advice.
wrong.
Maybe you should have martini CrossFit. Like you
Yeah.
take like shots or something before you do the actual exercise.
Well,
And
no
you
one
just
CrossFits anymore because the owner got really, really weird.
okay. Well,
okay.
let's just say exercise in general.
Nah.
Anyways,
All right.
Okay. Well,
Hey, good talk.
so no moral. Good.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Late nights, we're laughing loud, echoes in a sleepy crowd. Pizza boxes, drinks in hand, telling tales, oh isn't it grand? Every moment a snapshot frame, wild adventures, we're all the same. From school halls to midnight drives, these are the moments that keep us alive. Afterthoughts, let's rewind, stories shared, oh so kind. From the crush that got away, to that road trip on a rainy day. We're the dreamers, we're the sparks, making memories, leaving marks. Afterthoughts were never lost, just a